In this video, we're going to cover some of the notes for section 3.2. So let's begin. I can identify and use relationships when a transversal crosses parallel lines. So in the last section we talked about what happens, what angle pairs are formed when a transversal crosses lines. Today we're going to talk about that in parallel lines. So we have four different key pieces of information here. This is the premise or the hypothesis for all of them. If a transversal intersects two parallel lines, then the following are true. And we will sketch these out as we go. So we have two parallel lines. We're going to put our parallel symbol there, cut by a transversal. Postulate 3-1 says same side interior angles. So these angle pairs we found in our last section, same side interior angles are supplementary. What that means is if we take this angle here and add it to this angle here, they're going to add up to 180 degrees. So same side interior angles are supplementary. And the same will be true over here. This angle and this angle will add up to 180 degrees. All right, Theorem 3.1. Alternate interior angles are congruent. So alternate interior angles are congruent. Let's get our new drawing set up. Let's set it up this way. So alternate interior angles, that would be this angle and this angle. Those are alternate interior angles and they are congruent, as well as this angle and this angle. And if our lines look parallel, then these will look congruent. Theorem 3-2, if a transversal intersects two parallel lines, then corresponding angles are congruent. So again, we'll get this, and the corresponding angles, so this angle and this angle are corresponding. They will be congruent. That angle will be congruent to that angle. This angle will be congruent to that angle. Remember how many arcs in a diagram, an angle will be congruent to the other angle that has that many arcs. So corresponding angles are congruent. And again, if the lines look parallel, these will look congruent. The final theorem, if a transversal intersects two parallel lines, then alternate exterior angles are congruent. So that means this angle and this angle are the same, they are congruent, and that angle have the same degree measure. So those are the four relationships. So transversal intersecting parallel lines creates a lot of congruent angles as well as supplementary angles. So on this page I'm going to have you start this proof. So here we have angle line L and line M. I'm going to do a cursive L just to be able to tell the difference. Line L is parallel to M, and that, of course, is given. So we are given that these two lines are parallel. We're supposed to prove angle 4 and angle 6. We are proving on Theorem 3-1 that alternate interior angles are congruent. Okay? So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you the statements, and I want you to fill in the reasons. So the first statement we're going to look at is measure of angle 3 plus the measure of angle 4 equals 180 degrees. So why is that true? How do we know that that's true? We're also going to look at the measure of angle 3 plus the measure of angle 6 equals 180 degrees. How do we know that's true? Then we're going to jump to the measure of angle 3 plus the measure of angle 4 equals the measure of angle 3 plus the measure of angle 6. Why is that statement true? Then how do we get to the measure of angle 4 equals the measure of angle 6? And I need to shift that, sorry. Angle 4 is congruent to angle 6. So write those down, fill in the reasons as best you can, and we'll discuss that at the beginning of class. Thank you for watching.